What's up guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and a brand new episode of my F1 2017 career mode, and we are here for the start of season number 5, and as you can tell by the thumbnail, we are here for Williams Martini Racing for our 5th season in this career mode, and a brand new exciting project and something I've never done before. But first of all, we've got to speak to Chris, and he's going to give us an introduction.
Hi. You settled in okay? I've been getting to know the new team and the facilities. I reckon there's a lot of potential here. Anyway, I'll see you in the garage, okay?
And I'm inclined to agree because I definitely see a lot of potential in this team, and it's a team that I've actually never done a career mode before in an F1 game. It's one of them ones that I've never got around to doing, so I'm actually looking forward to the challenge ahead and something different. But straight away, jumping into the R&D screen, we can have a little bit of a look as to what Williams have developed up until this point. And straight away, the aero and the chassis is definitely the two weakest parts of the car. They've done a good bit of development on the aero, to be fair, and on the chassis, but basically we need to actually invest in them ultimate upgrades to really get the car to get up to scratch. And they've also done a few upgrades in the engine department, but obviously it's a Williams car, so you don't really need to do too much for it. But we are going to definitely invest in the engine just to get it up to scratch with Force India and Mercedes Works team. Also, durability is pretty poor. We're going to need to do a little bit of work here as well. But now we're going to jump into Friday practice quickly, and straight away I've got to say the car felt very good. It suits my driving style, to be fair. I was quite impressed. The car was very, very enjoyable to drive, and I actually enjoyed driving this car more than I did the Mercedes, oddly enough. So there was a weird satisfaction I got out of driving this, and definitely for the practice programs, the main focus here is to look to put practice points away. And we actually had a flawless Friday practice, scoring maximum points in our first ever practice session for the Williams team. So very happy with that one. And what we're going to do is, obviously going forward plan wise, is we're going to definitely invest in some durability first of all, because I feel like we need to just improve the car a little bit, and then straight away we're going to get straight on to the aero, I think, and also the chassis. We're going to sort of alternate with those two. I might even cut out the durability depending on if we need the performance straight away, but based off of Friday practice, the car felt absolutely brilliant, and we scored purple in every single practice session. So definitely very encouraging signs going to Saturday qualifying. And straight away, a small disclaimer here. I accidentally, because of the F1 2005 video I put up the other day, I've got my career mode set to 25% races and a one-shot qualifying. So I do apologise for that, but I'm going to use this as an opportunity to ask you guys. There will be a poll in the top right-hand corner of your screen, because with the one-shot qualifying, I was quite impressed, because I was actually quite happy with how it worked, because there is no real difference to Q1 and Q2 and Q3, because we normally get through to Q3 anyway, so there's nothing really to show in Q1 and Q2. So if you guys want to see me do one-shot qualifying, then like I said, vote in the top right corner of the screen, because personally I'm actually quite inclined to do it, because it's quite a bit of a time saver for me, which is good for me, and also it's more to the point, and also I've turned the ghost off, so it makes it exciting to see where everybody is. And right now you can see we're in 9th place, so we're floating around the 10th place mark, which is quite interesting, and we're just trying to push basically, and it's the ultimate one-lap challenge. So let me know in the comments down below, guys, and also in the top right corner, be sure to vote in the card annotation, and I'll keep that in mind for future episodes. But also, like I said before, I did a 25% race. It's purely a mistake that will be fixed for the next one, but for this episode it will be 25%, so I do apologise for that. But meanwhile, in the background you can see that we've been in qualifying here on our one and only lap, and we've actually opted for the slower super soft tyres to try and find the ultimate lap time. And I was up into 7th place there into that penultimate corner, but I ran it a little bit too deep on the entry, and eventually out the final corner we are going to be in 9th place. The question is, are we going to be there once the lap comes to an end? And the question is, well, sorry, the answer is yes, it is. It's 9th place. So an okay opening qualifying to the season for the Williams team on the slower super soft tyres, and relative to our teammate Felipe Massa, we actually managed to beat him, so quite a good qualifying all in all, and it's all pretty much 2x2 in the team order in the top 10. So overall, solid race, and Renault are our nearest competitors, and we beat both of them. So very positive first qualifying session, and we'll start the race tomorrow from 10th place. But other than that, that's going to wrap things up for Saturday qualifying, and we're now going to move into Sunday for the first race of Season 5 for the Australian Grand Prix. Okay then, so here we are on the grid for the Australian Grand Prix, and first things first, like I said in the intro, I do apologise, but this is a 25% race. This will be fixed for the next one, but it's just basically a circumstance where I don't know why it changed from my F1 2005 video, but for some reason it did, and I forgot to change it back because I didn't realise. So yeah, that'll be fixed for the next episode, but still, a 25% race can be pretty manic and pretty hectic, and I think there could be plenty of action in the race today, as we are the only person in the top 10 starting on these super soft compound tyres. So we've got the strategy advantage for this race, and overall, it's looking pretty positive for us. The highest placed Williams and pretty much best of the rest after the 4 big boys. So overall, a very, very encouraging qualifying. And if we look at the race strategy, you can see on screen right now, obviously a one-stop strategy moving over to the Ultra Softs, but also dry conditions throughout. So hopefully we can have a good race here today, and I'm looking forward to it because obviously we've got the better strategy. So if we can just have some good pace in this opening stint, we could be pretty damn good in that second one. So without further ado, let's jump straight into it now for the first race of Season 5 for the Australian Grand Prix. Right then, here we go. We're going to get ready to the 5 red lights, and it's going to be lights out and away we go for season number 5 in this career mode, and it's a pretty decent start actually off of the line to say we're on super soft tyres. As we go into turn 1, I'm not used to being this far down the order, so we've got to be careful and pick our position wisely. And there we go, done a pretty good job of going around the outside of Massa, but now we're going to have the slipstream on the Red Bull here. Can we try and go up the inside of Verstappen here? We're going to take it very easy on the brakes, keep our front wing in one piece. I am running pretty high aero on this car because obviously this car doesn't need low wings. This is already a naturally pretty quick car in a straight line, so I'm focusing more on picking up better corner speeds. And straight away there, getting past Verstappen, and now Ricciardo's all over the place here trying to get past Bottas. So we might have a little look here at the Honey Badger in his home race. We're very close to the other Red Bull here, right on the slipstream. We're going to pull to the inside and go up the inside on the brakes. Ricciardo braking quite early, to be fair. I'm going to try and squeeze him out, a little bit of contact, but we are just going to go around the outside of the Australian, and we're up into 7th place. So very good opening lap here in Australia, getting past both of the Red Bull cars on these super soft compound tyres. But now the question is, do we have the pace to keep up with the top 6? I don't expect to, but you never know. Well, early on here, I've got some pretty good pace, and I'm actually keeping up with Bottas and Ocon. Ocon in front of the Mercedes having a couple of issues, and he's actually got some pretty poor pace here, so I'm able to keep up behind the 2. Bottas also returning to F1 after a 1-year absence, and we're looking pretty good so far. Bottas, based off of the radio, has issues with his car already, so Bottas with mechanical issues in that Mercedes, and that's the one that I departed last season, so pretty much in the first race that Mercedes have in trouble already, so that's going to help me out. And Bottas is going to be under pressure here as I'm trying to make a move. Bottas going defensive a little bit here. I'm just going to cut underneath him, and I'm going to get very, very close to the Mercedes here. Do we have the straight line speed? I'm going to try and cut back underneath and try and get on the inside line. Have we got enough on the brakes here on the Mercedes? Up the inside on Bottas. He's still there on my inside, to be fair. It's going to be a drag race onto the back straight, where we are just going to pull in front of the works Mercedes car, and we're up into 6th place. So very good start to this race here. This Williams car working very good. I did say in practice it suits my driving style, so therefore I can outperform the car. So this is very encouraging so far, and I think we can keep up with Ocon. So let's keep pushing here. This is a very good start to the race. Right, so after a few laps now, reality is starting to settle back in. Ocon's pulling away a little bit. Ricciardo is catching me up. I've done a personal best, so my pace is still very good in this race, but obviously the fact that this car is not up to scratch is taking its toll basically, and we are starting to drop off a little bit now from the full scene there. But the good thing is, if we stay relatively close, once we're on the Ultra Softs, we could make something happen here. So it was critical that we keep pushing, and we could be within a shout of maybe finishing in 5th place this race if the Ultra Softs work nicely for us. Okay, so we've got cars in the pit lane now, so we're going to go up a few positions here. Particularly we're going to go up into 3rd place and another personal best, so pace is still pretty damn good, and we're pretty damn consistent on this tyre. But definitely the tyres are starting to just run out a little bit now. I'm going to pit at the end of next lap and coming for the Ultra Soft. So right now it's critical that we keep on pushing and stay close to Ocon. Okay, now Esteban Ocon, and also I believe Sebastian Vettel, no, Kimi Raikkonen are in the pit lane. So there you go. We're going to inherit the net race lead, and we're going to come in at the end of this lap for another set of Ultra Soft compound tyres. Or not another, a set of Ultra Soft compound tyres. Right, here we go. We're going to come into the pit lane for our first and only stop of the race for Ultra Soft compound tyres here, so really pushing the pit entry. Now we've got to get it also down to 60 here, so slow down. There we go. Good entry, in-lead mix, trying to save a little bit of fuel. And now we're going to see where we rejoin. Vettel and obviously Raikkonen are going to fly past most of the leaders. The question is, are we going to rejoin anywhere near 6th place? So let's wait and see. Hulkenberg in P4 there, but I believe he's yet to stop. There are a few guys yet to stop. There's a huge train of cars here and a bit of traffic, including a lot of guys I'm probably going to have to overtake here. So let's get up to speed. Alonso's just retired from the race here, and into turn one we're going to be side by side with Stoffel Van Dorn. Ocon is right behind us, so we've managed to overcut Esteban Ocon in the pit stop. So fantastic stuff. And now we've got a run on Stoffel Van Dorn here. We're going to pull to the inside. And now we're going to make the overtake on the McLaren up the inside. He's still there, but we're just going to get in front. And that is absolutely phenomenal. And that's worked out beautifully for me because we are ahead of Ocon. We've made the overcut work. A very good in-lap there. And I was actually matching my personal best. So we're now up into a net P5. And the question is, can we do anything else this race? Can we go one step further? I've had a great run out of the far chicane here. I'm getting a huge slipstream on Danny Kvyat, and I'm just going to go for the dive on the brakes. I've got loads of grip on these tyres and confidence, and that was a nice, easy overtake on the Russian. This car is working beautifully around this track. I don't know what it is, but this track feels very good. And there's Lewis Hamilton. So Hamilton trapped in the train. So could we possibly beat both of the Silver Arrows in our first race away from the team? That would be something pretty damn special, if you ask me. So here we go. Let's try and focus now and try and get past these guys. They're being held up, so I think that's by Jolly and Palmer. So they're going to be pretty slow on the brakes. Also, Sergio Perez, if we can get past him as well, that would be absolutely fantastic. So very close on the brakes there. Perez on super soft. I think he's done a stop as well. So we could get in a few places here if we get this sorted out. Hamilton's overtaken Palmer now, so he's back into clean air. So it's crucial that we make the move, and we've got a run on Perez. He's going to force me onto the grass a little bit here, but we are going to go for the move instead. Perez goes around the outside of Carlos Sainz. Fantastic maneuver on the Spaniard. Is he going to hold it all the way around the outside? Everyone's holding a slipstream on everybody here. We're going to pull to the inside on Sainz and make the move here. Oh, a little bit of front damage, but I'll take it anyway. Around the outside, risky move, but we made it work, and we're up into 4th place. Unbelievable. Now can we hold it until the end of the race here? It goes to show how aero dependent some cars are, because I've got the yellow front wing damage, but because of this car being naturally sort of tailored towards a low aero sort of style, I'm doing okay. I'm on for a personal best with the yellow front wing, which is something that I would have had to have instantly come into the pit lane for if I was still driving for Mercedes. So it just goes to show the difference in car and how we can make it work here. And the front wing, I mean, is hurting me, but it's not that bad. And I think we should be okay to hold it from Perez. I mean, the pace is good, and as you can see, we pretty much just matched the personal best. So if I concentrate, I've definitely got the pace. Right, there's a huge battle going on behind me, so this is going to help me out. And I think, unless I have an absolutely shocking lap, if I just keep up doing this pretty average pace, we should be okay, because the gap's 6.3 now. There's a massive battle going on behind. Both of the Force Indians, my teammate, and I think both of the Red Bulls as well. So those guys are squabbling it out for lower end points. But it looks like this 4th place could be pretty damn safe right now. I've just got to nurse the car home for another couple of laps.
Right, some information on Hamilton. They're slowing down. It seems like there's some kind of problem with their car.
Now, apparently now Hamilton has a problem with his car. He's just 5 seconds up the road. So could we get a podium here? Right, going on to the last lap of the Grand Prix here. It's going to be touch and go if we can catch Lewis. I think he might just get away with it due to a lack of laps here. So we might have to settle for 4th place. I'm going to try my hardest here, but I think he's just a bit too far away. Also, Ocon has broken away now from the huge battle, but he's 7 seconds down the road. So I think we've got this in the bag. Well, the race is over. The checker flag is out, and Sebastian Vettel has won the first race, beating his teammate Kimi Räikkönen. So could this be a sign of things to come for the season? Will Vettel, after 4 seasons, finally step up to the plate and do the job for Ferrari? We're going to come home in a brilliant 4th place, just behind Lewis Hamilton, and I think maybe 1 or 2 more laps, and we might have had a crack at catching Hamilton. I definitely think if I didn't have the front wing damage, I could have overtaken Hamilton there. So bit of a shame, but still 4th place. I never ever would have seen that coming after the qualifying, and also just driving for Williams, to be honest with you, because it's the 6th best team. So that is a fantastic result, and one that I'm very happy with in my first race for Williams. And hopefully there'll be plenty of more of those races to come in the near future. Hopefully with a little bit more luck and maybe snatch a podium. But we had a lot of good luck that race, and timing the strategy, timing the overtakes, and except one little small mistake where we got a little bit too overexcited with the Palmer one. Other than that, it was a pretty damn good race, and overall, very, very enjoyable one, and I'm very happy. So hopefully we can continue this good momentum going into the next race, and fingers crossed we can try and build some solid momentum. At Vettel on the top step of the podium for the first time in Season 5, ahead of Kimi Räikkönen, and Hamilton rounds up the podium. Both Mercedes with victories this race, so that sort of justifies my me leaving the team, I guess, in many ways. But overall, that was the Australian Grand Prix, and we're now going to move into the final race results, drivers and constructor standings, and see how things shape up after that crazy first race. And looking at the final race results, Sebastian Vettel wins ahead of Raikkonen and Lewis Hamilton, as we already know, keeping their original grid positions. We come home in a brilliant fourth place, starting from P9 on the grid, and Ocon, Ricciardo and Verstappen all closely follow me, along with Felipe Massa getting 8th place, starting from P10 on the grid. And Perez, the big loser in that, dropping from P5 on his original start position, and Nico Hulkenberg also getting a point. Valtteri Bottas way down in 12th place after that disappointing car issue that, even though he started in 4th place, it dropped him way down the order. And in terms of retirements, 3 retirements, both of them, 2 of them were the McLaren, so they won't be happy with that one. But in terms of the driver standings, obviously they're exactly the same as the race results. But in terms of the constructors, though, we were in 2nd place, so good start. And I don't know how long we'll be able to stay there for. Ferrari, the 1-2, already establishing a dominant lead, and they'll be hungry to want to reclaim their titles back. But still, a good 2nd place to kick things off in the constructors, and definitely a very, very good race to start off the season. But nonetheless, hope you guys have enjoyed this episode of Career Mode, and if you have, then please do leave a like on the video. Also, subscribe if you're new around here, and also please be sure to check out these videos on screen right now. And finally, do check out GT Omega in the links down below in the description. Use the code TOM97 for a 5% discount at checkout. But other than that, guys, thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye.